So the chapter starts at a candy shop and maybe he's buying a candy bar from this old lady that can probably tell you a fortune. And a small disclaimer, this chapter is just yapping, no action, so make sure you got the attention span for this shit. Maki is screaming at Yuta, "Ish, is this your best girl?" Couldn't be me. She says that shit's not sweet just cause he went back to his own body. The big three show up and Maki asks how Megumi is. He says that he's a little bit foggy because of Unlimited Void, but boy, he shouldn't even been standing. I forgot how many times he got hit with the Unlimited Void, but it was definitely enough to turn him into a vegetable. Nah, he should be dead. He says that he wants to apologize, but Toji too says that there's nothing to apologize. Then Yuji says he wants to apologize. Kusakabe stops this Canadian wheel and says that it's all cause Gojo refused to kill Yuji from the beginning, and Yuji is just another victim of Kenjaku. He continues saying that he sided with the execution of Yuji, but Principal Yaga swayed him, but he doesn't think that any side was wrong. Everyone had their reasons. He directs his attention to the gang, saying that they shouldn't feel guilty because they are just kids and the ones to blame are the adults. I agree, but most of the community doesn't, always using Megumi as a scapegoat. Yuji asks Yuta how he went back into his body, and he responds saying that it's because of Rika. She was using RCT to maintain his body, but he still thought he was a goner when Kenjaku's technique burnt out. Mimi says that Yuta miscalculated because Kenjaku was the proof that the technique works even after opening the domain. Kusakabe adds that he probably was separating the multiple techniques via some barrier techniques, so it would make sense for Yuta to fail due to his inexperience with barriers. Yuta says that after his technique recovered, he was in a state of suspended animation, but once he reconnected with Rika, he got here and then apologizes again. Maki said that if Yuta had taken this shit more seriously, they would have won easily. Man, I wasn't there, but acting as if him being more serious would make fighting Sukuna easier is extremely unlikely. Maki says that she should have led the surprise attack on Kenny. If they had used Higuruma's sword plus Toji's remote curse speech on Sukuna, this could have ended pretty quickly. But Todo says that she's wrong because she's not a viable target for his boogie woogie, and it's hard to say that Yuta would have succeeded without his help, not to mention that Yuta and Rika's power were necessary to stop the rampaging spirits. Panda adds that the curse speech only worked because Sukuna was already weakened. If he was fine, then Salmon guy would probably die from the feedback. Higuruma says that Sukuna was just playing with him and he could have killed him at any time, and if someone like Yuta was there, he would have done so immediately. He continues saying that curse speech is easy to counter. He's the one that decided that it would be best to use it on Yuta's domain because his domain doesn't allow violence. Maki still mad as shit says that if the backup from abroad was there from the start, things would have been a lot different, and I'm here to tell you, it wouldn't. These niggas are trash, and Miguel did a Fortnite dance and then dipped. But everyone goes all JoJo and agrees. Yuji says that Yuta's curse tools helped him hide his fingers, but Maki says that he could have gone to Home Depot. Bruh, does she really think that Home Depot has cursed grade gloves? He says that Yuta hindered Sukuna once he opened his domain a second time, but she ain't hearing none of it and says that it could have ended before that happened. Bitches be hating for real. Akari says that it was pretty helpful being inside of Rika. They were able to jump right in after Gojo lost, and that's all because of Yuta. Toro chimes in saying there's a lot he's responsible for too. Working with Meimei prepared him, but it wasn't enough to save Ichozo or Yuji. The punk girl asked if they were out of range, but it was because of Sukuna's immense curse energy. He couldn't tell which one was Yuji's or Chozo's. It's like dipping a pizza slice in ketchup and not being able to tell the flavors apart. Shashti says that he was also in the eye of the domain. It was thanks to Ui he's alive, saying it should have been Chozo and not him. As much as I want to agree, I really fuck with Shashti, so I wouldn't want him gone. Yuji says that he would have died if that happened, so it's no one's fault. Miwa says that she was scared because basically being a meat shield for Maki might have not worked, and damn, why does she look like that? Kusakabe says that she shouldn't have been involved in a fight, but she says that he would have objected if she told him. Broom Girl says that she's very sorry for not doing anything, but Epstein said that her broom was very comfortable. Bruh, I can't believe that she's better drowned than Miwa. Hakari says that he wanted to help against Sukuna, but Urame was super strong. I don't buy it. He just wanted those Heian era buns. Not gonna lie, I'm forgetting her name. She said that she was asleep until the very end, but she did play a very crucial role, so it's all good. The Groom Sorcerer says that everyone can agree that he was the MVP of this fight. And to be honest, he kinda was. I gotta put respect on his name. Punk Girl said that he left her mid-fight and he just said that she was heavy. Kusakabe says that while Ui was busting his back, Epstein was just chilling, but he defends her saying that she worked very hard on the new shadow style problem. The glazing is incomparable. Meme says that her life is priceless, so she wouldn't even step on the battlefield. Man, these gold diggers, man. The gambler asks if they are talking about the binding vow that forbids the simple domain from being taught to outsiders. Kusakabe confirms it. The inherited binding vow or the school's simple domain. The original creator, Ashiya Sadatsuna, man that sounds so fucking wrong, created that binding vow with the intention of simple domain being inaccessible to cursed users. Epstein says as generations passed, the new shadow style lost its hype and became a trade secret. Them 1 and them 2 don't understand what the hell they are talking about. Nobara asks what's so tricky about this binding vow that's stopping it from being taught to outsiders. Kusakabe says that's only a part of it. They also can't refuse the head of the school if they ask them to mobilize. And then there's the lifespan. It's much closer to a curse. It's unconfirmed, but apparently the head absorbs the user's lifespan. No one knows who the head is, which is why there's no way to tell if the lifespan contract exists or not, or how it functions. After all, there are a lot of Jesus that live long lives even after using it. When the head dies, the best disciple becomes the head. However, only that disciple knows that he's the head, which means that it's very hard to find out who's the actual head of the new shadow style. Only the head can remove the binding vows. As far as he knows, no one among the best students knows anything about the head. Meme corrects him saying there wasn't, and it's revealed that Kusakabe is the new head of the new shadow style. Now all that binding vow mumbo jumbo is finally gone. Epstein grooms the child even more, saying when he turns into the head, he can collect monthly fees from all the disciples. The child glazes, and Meme said it is time for Jujutsu Society to enter a new era of subscriptions. Oh god. We go back to Meme and Granny, and she asks how did she know she was the head. Oh, she just asked someone with the proper information. She was gathering disciples until her power rivaled that of the big 3 families. She wanted to take over the Jujutsu world and kill the higher-ups. Granny realized that it was Tengen, and then we get this beautiful double spread. You would have needed years and years of draining your disciples' lifespans. There was something you wanted to see, wasn't there? Aspirations like this almost seem priceless. And now, with the Zenin clan annihilated, we stand on the cusp of the decisive battle, wherein both the Kano and the Gojo clans could face destruction. But you know, things even more important than money can't be protected without proper funds. There were sorcerers whose life would have been saved if you hadn't monopolized the simple domain. More than anything, you were trying to turn my little brother into damaged goods. That alone made this an inevitability. We're in a cemetery and Megumi saying his goodbyes to his sister. He thanks the healer. She says not to worry about it. Even after cremation, it's worth it to make them look nice. Her actions helping her feel pretty in the afterlife is all the thanks that she needs. She wanted Gojo to let her handle Geto's body too, and Megumi agrees. Not that I believe in an afterlife anyway. Makes sense. Megumi gets a call, so he has to leave, and someone is saying that the previously consumed Master Tengen was found among Sukuna's remnants after he was torn apart from Megumi. Another person asks what does this mean for Master Tengen's barriers around Japan, but from the looks of it they will remain as long as Sukuna's remnants are preserved. And the other says that they should hurry and put some countermeasures. Oh, it's the worst teacher and the doctor. The last person is the guitar grandpa and said that they are still too young, so go and chill. They don't need to worry themselves with this just yet. Next up, we see Maki giving a katana to the old hen and says that now that the culling games have ended, there's probably going to be talks about what to do with the incarnated types. Seeing as Megumi came back alive, they'll likely have Yuji and Hana remove the cursed objects from the victims' bodies. She adds that since curses are a Tokyo exclusive phenomenon, even with the culling game finished, that'll be a safe zone and curses throughout Japan are sure to keep gathering there. Oldhead likes the idea, but Kappa says that he doesn't want to summon curses. And even the curses don't want to be in a 5-kilometer radius from this guy. She said that this is the last time that she's gonna be nice, so they better scram. Hey Maki, when the time comes to give me the axe, you better be there. I'll be sure to cut you down. And she laughs. Some blonde guy is talking about magazines. He might be a relevant character, but I forgot. He's just trying to finish up the manga. We then go to Takaba and he's talking to his partner about not doing the sex jokes because they're going to do the shit and piss jokes. Bruh, what kind of comedy is this? But what's more interesting is his partner. Gege is probably trolling, but who knows. Sugar Guy goes to meet up with his victim and he wants to apologize, but he's having none of it and dips. We switch to Higuruma and he's talking about the lawyer stuff with this girl. We then see Angel. Sukuna striking as he did would have to mean Megumi's memories regarding you have already been unearthed, Hana. Bro, I didn't understand this. Is she saying that Megumi's memories regarding Hana have come back or something? Hana tells her to shut up, and Megumi says that he wants to take responsibility for his actions. He asks to be her right hand from now on. But this girl kinda crazy and starts saying something about proposing, and Megumi just stutters, saying he needs to get the fuck out of there and go to a mission. And now we switch up to a random girl and she's talking to her fiance, but he has these big ass eyes. The suit guy explained that the girl saw her fiance morphing as of 2 weeks ago, but these three don't see anything wrong with him. And not gonna lie, this part reminds me of a certain manga. They conclude that the problem is actually her and Nobara takes her to get at physical. Megumi says there's a very low chance that he's a cursed spirit and is probably a cursed user. He doesn't feel any intent to kill, so it must be an awakened player that made it through the culling games. Semi-first cursed spirits have free will, so they could be a possibility. And Yuji adds that it's basically just some cursed user harassment, so it's probably gonna be a piece of cake. The last chapter starts with Nobara not finding anything on the girl, so concludes that the curse user is close, assuming that it's not a remote curse technique or a cursed spirit. Yuji wondering if they are in the range, and Megumi said that it probably are, maybe a range of 50 meters or 100 to be safe. Yuji asks what's the plan because they are in the middle of a city, so even if they checked every building, there's too many blind spots, but they can probably notice when the technique reactivates if they get a good vantage point. Yuji comes with a great idea to go into an open field, but Megumi shuts that dumb shit immediately. Except for fighting, these niggas are kinda dense. Nobara proposes the amazing idea of giving the girl to Yuji to run the 100 meters, but Megumi also shuts that dumb shit. Niggas be dumb even after finding the king of curses. How did they even lose against these two? She proposes they give the couple a paid trip, but that won't work because the curse user has her location 24/7, just like Google on your phone. Yuji says that it might work because now the stalker will have to wait until they come back to reactivate his technique. Makes sense. Most stalkers are broke, that's why you always see them walking. No bike, no car, no money. Still, Megumi says that won't work, and the Supreme Duo are tired of his nitpicking and challenge him to a board game. Never realized how Megumi is the only smart, normal person here. He says that they'll have to leave the range, and when he activates, they'll strike. That's exactly what I've been saying. Yeah, but in a dumb way. But Megumi's method involves a large building, enough to surpass the technique's range. They'll have Ichichi-san keep an eye on the window, find a good lookout point, and wait for the reactivation. When the couple reaches floor 40, his face goes back to normal, and that's when they find the little shit. Nobara starts the assault by sliding down the building whilst destroying public property. Damn, this matchup isn't fair at all. He lucky he isn't a curse. Both of their faces turn and Bros runs away, but promptly gets caught by Megumi. They ask the girl if she knows the little shit, but he gets angry and points out that he bought that bag, so my guy is a simp with a shit technique. Couldn't be me. They put his ass in the back of a car, but Yuji, the saint that he is, comes and reassures him that he won't get executed. But we go back in time where Yuji was training with Gojo, and he says he thought he would do switch training with Gojo after Kusakabe, and Gojo agrees on the point, but says that there's enough of him. He wants Yuji to be more forward thinking. He wants him to carry his dream if anything happens, but if he dies, there'll be a point where they grow further than him. He thinks there should be at least one of them that forgets about him and develops their own completely different strength. But Yuji says that none of them could forget Gojo and thinks that Gojo's out of character, maybe a little bit timid today. Gojo says confidence he never had before, and that he's expecting great things from Yuji. Back to the present, and Yuji's calming the shit down, saying that he already acknowledged he fucked up, so he should reflect on the things that he did and join them in the next mission. I'm expecting great things from you. The same line that Gojo used. Pretty beautiful. They are walking back and Megumi asks what he did with that thing, and you just say that he fucking tossed it. But he shouldn't worry about it because it's not dangerous anymore, and it'll make a nice talisman. He looks at his hand with content and happiness. And then we get sent back into the void, and Mahito and Sukuna are talking for the third time in the entire manga. Mahito said that his technique messes with the soul, so consider this a vestige, and this is the pathway that souls walk on their way down the cycle. The only thing that I'm saying is Mahito camping in the lobby so he won't get murked by Yuji. He meant to ask Sukuna about his lie, the lie that he told himself and everyone, that he lived according to his own stature, but he actually wanted revenge. Revenge on the world that rejected him. And Sukuna asked what's the difference. He only lived the way that he knew, but he actually corrects himself, saying he had other paths, too actually, but he couldn't help spit the curse within his viscera, and if there was a next time, it would be nice to walk a different path. Mahito gets heated saying that he's boring and he's gone soft, and Sukuna agrees, cause he lost, and Mahito lays there crying like a bitch. Beautiful. Everyone's happy, and the last panel is Sukuna's last finger. This was an awesome ride. I wasn't at day one of this manga, but I watched the first season and it captivated me to the point that I started watching every kind of manga and manhwa and all that shit. The chapter is pretty cool, starting with what Gojo said. It's pretty nice that Gojo didn't want his students following the same path that brought him so much pain, but he actually wanted them to become their own thing, their own saying. And Yuji saying the same line as him, that was beautiful. And then there's Mahito and Sukuna. I wasn't expecting Mahito of all people to show up and his dumbass acting as if he's not scared of going back to Earth. But Sukuna on the other hand, he doesn't seem resentful, bitter about his defeat. He accepted it, even considers walking a different path. It makes me respect Sukuna a little bit, cause he said it himself, he only respects strength, and he's dishing out the respect for Yuji at the moment. I also wondered if Urome was actually there or was she just a metaphor, cause it's pretty cool that she's walking with Sukuna cause the two crazies are pretty cool together. But yeah, that's about it, and I guess I won't see you in the next one.